What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the TCG Empire YouTube channel. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Today we're going to be talking about my league challenge and how it went for me. If you guys are new and you're not sure what a league challenge it is, it's basically where a group of people will play in a tournament. It's usually the lowest bracket as far as being competitive, right above pre-releases. And if you do well, you can get championship points. And so that is what I participated in today. Today I decided to go with Chien-Pao Baxcalibur. We were playing Grant Shen's list from every tournament that he's played so far. So this is the one with the 4 Pokestop, no Luminion, no Bibarel. The deck list will be right here so you guys have a full clean view of it, so that way you guys can see what I was working with. So when it came to the tournament, I decided to go with this. Simply put, because Chienpao is good with Paradox Rift, and so I just wanted to make sure that I had a tournament under my belt with it, and, make sure that I was comfortable enough to play Chienpao in a competitive setting before adding Iron Hands and making it more fun. So that was kind of the way that I wanted to go into this. Chienpao has no real bad matchups. It doesn't really have good matchups either. It's more of if you can set up, you tend to win more. If you don't set up, you tend to lose more. So it's a deck that we classify as really only loses to itself. So with playing Chienpao, I felt comfortable. I have played Blastoise Keldeo in the past, and this was somewhat similar. A few differences, but also, at the time, Black Ballista, you deal a bunch of damage, discard energy after Superior, so I was used to that aspect. So getting into the tournament now, my round 1 was against Gardevoir. Within this game, I did take an L. I went second, and I had a turn 2 Baxcalibur with my opponent not having too great of a setup. So I was able to hit 180 on a Gardevoir that already had 40 on it, putting it at 220. And this allowed me the next turn to set up a Water Shuriken with the Greninja the next turn by using Cross Switcher on Manaphy, canceling Cologne, and taking 3 prizes on the EX as well as the Kirlia. So I was able to put myself down to 3 prizes, and then my opponent went on their turn. They KO'd my Baxcalibur, and before I could set up another one, they also had used Moonglow Reverse to KO my Frigibax. I went down to 2 prizes in the game with 3 energy on board for the Chienpao. And going from 2 to 1, I had a 50-50 shot at hitting my last Cross Switcher piece, and unfortunately I didn't hit it, so I was not able to win the game. So I started off 0-1 against Gardevoir. Round 2, I played against the Mirror. I was able to go first, and I outsped my opponent. They played the Pidgeot variant, which meant that they had more cards that they had access to, but they also needed to set up more. So this worked in my favor, as I was able to KO a Chienpao early, take 2 prizes, and then by the time my opponent tried to set up, I had been able to get through enough energy and set up enough energy to KO their Palkia V-Star for game. Along with that, my round 3, we played against Lost Tina. My opponent went first and was able to get off too comfy into a turn 2-7 to KO a Frigibax, and I had it active just so that way I didn't have to sack a 2-prizer, and he also Path to the Peak locked me, so unfortunately I was under the pressure of having an awkward hand, not being able to, attach energies that are in my hand, and it just kind of went awkward. But fortunately enough, though, I was able to set up and get a knockout by getting a lucky Iono to the Baxcalibur hand, and thankfully he didn't use Sableye to pick off my Frigibax that was on the bench the turn before. I was also in a tough spot due to Pathlock, but as I said, being able to Iono myself to 2 and then Bibarel for 3, it helped me to be able to hit the Cross Switcher on a Luminion for the game. So at this point we are 2-1, and then round 4 I played against Miraidon. I went first in this matchup, and I was able to take this game very fast. I went first, I had Chienpao in the active. I made sure to only bench 4 Pokemon, that way my opponent could not take a knockout with a Raikou. Going second meant that they would have to set up a potential Miraidon, which if they got the KO, it probably would have gone in their favor, but putting that extra pressure and not having 5 bench Pokemon made it to where they had to dig more for it. So my opponent wasn't able to get the knockout, and I was able to get a turn 2 knockout to go to 4 prizes. Then my opponent used Raikou to attack and KO'd my Chien-Pao, and it basically just went blow for blow, but because I got the very first blow, I was able to get the setup going that I needed to, and I was able to take the game. So at this point, we are 3-1, and finally, we have the round 5, where I played against Urshifu and Teleon. Now, normally this matchup is scary, but because I was able to go first, I had access to setting up a Chienpao in the active in order to search me energy. I used a Battle VIP pass as well as a Nest Ball to set up my board how I like, and then from there I was able to get as aggressive as I needed to. Going into my second turn, I was able to cross switcher into a Chien-Pao to search energy while also accelerating my board from the Baxcalibur that I got, while also putting my opponent's Inteleon V in the active that had a rapid strike energy. So this meant that I was able to take 2 prizes, and from there my opponent came up. They had a very lackluster turn, unfortunately. They only hit me for 140 with an Inteleon VMAX, and from there I was able to Super Rod 2 energy back into the deck, search them out with Chien-Pao to have 2, and then Superior for the 4 in order to swing with 6 energy for 360 damage, take 3 more prizes, KOing the Intel. And then my opponent also had Spiritomb on the bench, which meant that I couldn't play Lumineon, but because I don't play Lumineon, it worked out in my favor as I was able to leave it there in order for Greninja to pick off later. My opponent also had a Lumineon in their hand to grab Iono, but due to them having Spiritomb in play, it meant that they weren't able to use it. So it worked out in my favor, and I was able to take a clean 6-0 against Urshifu and Teleon. So we went 4-1. We got 10 championship points as we did place 3rd. Overall, it was a very fun and good event, and I had a great time. So if you guys are new here, do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Also keep in mind that, you know, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys have any friends that are brand new and want to get into the Pokemon TCG, this is probably the best place for them to go, as we are beginner, intermediate, and advanced friendly. So thank you guys for all of the support, and I will catch you in Monday's video. Later.